Hey, Brian. Thanks so much for joining me today. Hi, everyone. Again, I'm Lillian Minix. I'm a marketing coordinator in our Boulders, Richmond office here at Timmons Group. Meeting with Brian Kingery today of our GIS, Geospatial Technology Division. He is going to elaborate quite a bit on our Mayo River State Park Master Plan. He's done quite a bit of work on the GIS front with that specific project. Brian, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So let's get started a little bit with a background on you, particularly. What is your role at Timmons Group?
I am a GIS project manager.
Okay. And you're in the GIS division. That's for those tuning in that are not quite as familiar with the layout of our Timmons Group. That's all of our technology division structure. We service quite a few pieces out of there. We've got asset management, transportation services, just a whole variety in our technology sector. So really happy to have Brian here today to elaborate more specifically on part of our transportation technology division. And Brian, what is your background prior to coming to Timmons Group?
Well, I started my GIS career by enlisting in the Army. So I was a geospatial engineer stationed at Fort Bragg, traveled all over the world, practicing GIS. After I finished my enlistment, I got my Bachelor's of Science in Geography from Old Dominion University and went ahead and got my Master's in GIS from Elmhurst University.
Fantastic. That's amazing. And did you say that you got certifications in GIS when you were in school or just the degrees themselves?
Well, both. I got a certification from Old Dominion and then just through professional practice. I have a couple certificates from Esri. So I have the ArcGIS Online Administration certificate and ArcGIS Desktop, as well as my GISP, which is the GIS Professional certification.
So, you're really well versed. You and I have worked together on a few projects here and there. I've learned quite a bit about what you do, and you work more directly with clients. And I guess, Esri is kind of a quasi client in that way. We do work a lot with them back and forth. What about working with your team? You have quite a few people on your direct team that you work with as well.
Yeah, so I'm a part of the transportation GIS team at Timmons, which that means I mainly work with state DOTs, but I also work with local government clients, private clients of all sizes, as well as Esri, who is a gold partner with us. So as far as working with the team, we have a great team here, especially the 502 team, which is the transportation GIS. We're all over the country. We consist of assorted or past DOT GIS managers, myself from VDOT, Virginia DOT. We have one from Arizona DOT, North Carolina. So we're really trying to cover our bases with the experience that we bring to the table and just what we can offer.
And you really all do bring quite a bit of expertise to the firm, so we're happy to have you. Speaking of expertise and kind of broadening on the topic of Mayo River State Park, it's Timmons Group Parks Week, which is why we're here. July is National Parks and Rec Month, and we're here just to feature quite a few of our really unique Timmons Group projects from all different parts of the services that we offer. So far we've featured landscape architecture, a little bit of survey, some geotechnical work, and now we're here today to feature GIS transportation and how exactly that is intertwined with how our parks operate and some of our more civil engineering projects on one side of it, but then on the other side we've got GIS. So we're here to talk about Mayo River State Park, the master plan specifically, and give me a little bit of a background on what exactly it was, Brian, that you did with this project.
Well, the goal of this project, at least from my standpoint, was to create a website that can serve as a project repository. So anything about this project, specifically GIS related, any type of maps or hard copy interactive maps that would want to be featured, this website would be a place for citizens and stakeholders alike to come and learn about the park. So specifically, my role for this project was to first brainstorm how we can accomplish this task. So what technology could we use? We ended up using the ArcGIS Online platform, along with the various maps and apps that are provided, which I'll show in a second, that are littered throughout the website. If you want to learn about see pictures that have been taken throughout the park, you can do so. If you want to learn about hydrology features that we've mapped out, there's a map for that. So then once I figured out what the best approach was, I set up the initial framework of the website. So I'll explain a little, or I'll show that a little bit later on, as far as what maps and apps are featured throughout. And then once I was done with version 1 of the website, that's when I went back to our landscape architecture staff and got them up to speed as far as training, how they can edit what I've done and really kind of shape it to make it their own, and hear what feedback NC State Parks had for it.
That's fantastic. That sounds like a really intricate project. You must have come across some challenges here and there. What are some of the challenges, immediately that you can think of that you encountered?
Well, a fun challenge for me with any project is listening to the requirements. So whether that's coming from NC State Parks, or in this case, for me, it was coming from other Timmins staff, kind of translating those. And then once I hear those requirements, translating those requirements into something tangible, a map that can show this, a place that we can showcase this file, this document, a way to get input. So just ensuring that all those boxes are checked as far as the requirements go, that was a big challenge.
Absolutely, I can imagine so. And my next question, I guess, after you had encountered all of those projects, how did you work with your team more specifically to, did you have to make any changes along the lines? Did you have to realign every once in a while? What did that progression look like?
Well, a good thing about me listening to those requirements up front, creating the website, and then showing it to our landscape architecture staff. They showed it to NC State Parks. They got the feedback, and then because of the training that I had provided to them, they were able to just hit the ground running and make configuration changes to not only the website but also maps, the way that the data is displayed, the type of narrative that accompanies all the maps on the website. So it was very much an iterative process where I set it up first, and then they kept going back and forth with the true client, and made the updates as needed.
That's fantastic. What do you say we bring up the website and we can see what you've been working on all this time?
Yeah, let's do it. So let me share my screen. Without further ado, you seeing the Mayo River State Park website?
It's such a beautiful site. You did an absolutely incredible job.
Well, appreciate that. So I'll just do a quick overview of the website. Here is the landing page. A user can immediately start interacting with a map, seeing the features that we've mapped out. If you scroll down a little further, there's steps on how to get involved. So not only can you learn about the park itself and the master plan process, but you could start to explore the maps and then provide input during the period where we had surveys available. Here's a pretty cool application called the Attachment Viewer on ArcGIS Online, where we've taken pictures throughout the park and geolocated them and put the points on a map. So you could scroll through as a user, a potential visitor of the park, and see that. Next up, just going across the top, here's a place where you can learn about the history of the park, and then the process that's being involved, and see who the stakeholders and the team members are that are accomplishing this project.
It's such an interactive site, and then also just to be able to see such up close and personal, meet the team, meet the people that are behind this project. That's a really engaging part of the site, I think, for viewers.
Yeah. Next up, we have a couple interactive maps that allows the user to zoom into a location, switch through predefined maps where we have layers set up and symbolized in a way that can help tell the story about natural resources, about hydrology. You can see the slope across the park, and start to learn about the park that way. Next up, this was really important because in the master plan process, they wanted feedback from citizens, from park goers. So to this day, we still have an interactive map that's editable where a user can come in and draw points, lines, polygons, and provide input that way. For a period of time, we had an actual survey set up, and we had over 400 submissions, and you can kind of see the results from that survey listed here. We wanted to be fully transparent with everything as the results came in, so you can see what visitors to the park, would find most helpful for adding or supporting.
Absolutely.
We have hard copy as maps to accompany the interactive ones where a user can go in and launch these PDFs and just get another sense of the initial concepts as well as the final concepts.
Getting up close and personal with that PDF, that's a really cool feature.
Oh, yeah. We have multimedia on there as well. So if you're interested in watching a video or any of the recordings of the meetings, you can do so.
Fantastic. Everything in one place, everything that you would need to know about the Mayo River State Park Master Plan.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This website, how long did the site take you to build?
Probably about a week for just the initial concept, setting up the framework. It was very helpful that the landscape architecture crew that I was working with provided some narrative, some of the text that would need to be. So I did not write the whole thing at the first. That was part of that iterative process. But yeah, it was a couple days worth of planning out the content and making sure that the Timmins group staff had the connections that they needed to have to be able to create the spatial data, edit it along the way, and so on.
That's fantastic. Yeah, shout out to our landscape architecture crew. They're very prepared all the time and so helpful, and we really appreciate their work. And it looks like they really did help you quite a bit putting this together. I would like to go back to the provide input tab, because that is, just again, with that community engagement, making sure that community members are aware of what's happening around them, and are staying, up to date and engaged. They can, come to the meetings, or they can email info@mayomasterplan.com. Like, that's just fantastic. Seeing that our work is so inclusive of the community members is very heartwarming to me. It's a really neat feature of the website. I love this page.
Cool.
Absolutely. Brian, is there anything else you want to show me? This is just the neatest hub site. Oh, actually, would you like to show the hub of hubs?
I would. So with COVID happening and not being able to meet in person like we all would like to, especially about community engagement, public engagement, where you might want to go to a town hall meeting or just provide input that way. With COVID, we're not able to do that. So ArcGIS Hub has been a perfect technology to help facilitate these efforts. And by going to arcgishub.timmins.com, you're able to see a portfolio of all of our websites that we've built on behalf of our clients. We have more than just public engagement showcases. We have open data sites that we've helped put together. We have resources to learn about all of these websites. And it's a really good resource that we can send out to people if they've never heard of the concept, heard of the ArcGIS Hub or Enterprise Sites technology. They can go to and learn about it, and then see also projects that we've been involved in.
Absolutely. I spent some time on the we refer to it, I guess, as the hub of hubs, a little bit here and there. I spent some time on it this morning, just looking around. So much engagement. There's so many links that you can click and things that you can learn and maps that you can view. It's just very interactive. And, absolutely, to be able to see all of your work kind of in one place. Also, you know,
Mhm.
and the Mayor River State Park project is actually one of these, you know, as you're scrolling down, it's one of these types of, you know, project lists. Yep, state government. There we go.
Yep. So
And
there's our Caltrans effort, and then
yep,
here's Mayo River.
that's just fantastic. So these folks came here to tune in for Timmins Group Parks Week, but they didn't know that they were going to get the whole shebang with the GIS hub site. So thank you so much, Brian. This has been fantastic. Love featuring your work. You know, I'll include a link to the Hub of Hubs in the post, as well as directly to the Mayo River State Park Master Plan site. Thank you for everything that you do for the GIS, you know, group here in Timmins, and also for, you know, how your work kind of you're able to assist so many different groups in their efforts in keeping their communities engaged. So we're really proud to call you a Timmins Group employee, and we're happy to have you.
Yeah, happy to help. Happy to be here.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Brian.
All right, thank you.